right, welcome back to Purple Sector, everyone. And this is the No Hat edition, completely unplanned. Kind of weird, but guess we're
Hey,
both
maybe
feeling
this
the
will get
hair
us
day.
some viewers.
Yeah, yeah. Here it is. My hair is super curly. It's the humidity, maybe. Let's get into it. A couple facts, and then just get right into Spain. We'll keep it pretty short. What do you think? FIA approved, or I guess Alpine's um, complaints about his penalty.
Yeah, well, they were allowing the right to protest, and it's under review, but there hasn't actually been any official word about what the ruling is. Um, I don't have all the facts, obviously, but as someone who watched the race, um, why is there must be something unique with Gasly's penalty that makes this acceptable? Because I would think that most teams would be pursuing this, and if every team pursued it, Gasly wouldn't even be in position to earn a podium. We talked about this on our recap pod
Yes.
that Russell was ahead of him, and if Russell hadn't gotten a speeding penalty, then he would not have gotten the other additional penalties and probably would have been on the podium. So I don't really understand what made his circumstance so unique, but I'm sure we're going to find out here when the reports come in. What a win that would be for those guys. Alpine on the podium.
Oh, that would be massive. My only once again, I don't have all the info either. Two things. One, this is almost like a baseball situation where he's been with Alpine for so long, like it's kind of time to go to bat for the guy. Like this is a podium situation.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that he's had in recently was Brazil, and it was basically due to weather. Um, and the other thing I saw was there's a video of his average kph going through the pit, and via the video it never went over the speed.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
Interesting.
once again, anything you see on social media or the news or whatever, grain of salt, but it never went over the mark. So via that
I
video,
mean,
he's
clearly
in the
they saw
green.
something there that warrants further investigation. So, I don't know, kind of pulling for him. I guess that would demote Hadjar, which is a little bit of a bummer for him. But
I mean, if Gasly did nothing wrong, though, I mean,
yeah,
that it'd be good to overturn it. I am rooting for him too, even though I like Hadjar, but I think that'd be cool.
yeah, I'd be happy for him. Gasly's had a strong start to the season, so
Oh, awesome start to the season. I mean, Alpine in general, even Colapinto's looking pretty sharp right now. On a little bit of the leak side, we have Red Bull having the strongest motor.
yeah, I think this comes as a surprise to a lot of people. I think the majority of folks would say that they would think Mercedes would be in the lead here. Um, but whatever measurement testing they're doing, well, it's not testing. They're just pulling data from races. We don't really know the concoction of how they're calculating this, and they don't want to release that because then teams are going to find loopholes to trick it. Um, but yeah, however they're doing this, they've found that Red Bull's got the best engine. So yeah, the ADUO, I had to look it up again because the
That's my bad.
abbreviation
I probably said it
sucks.
said it weird last time.
Well, it's not your fault at all. The abbreviation sucks. It doesn't even make a word. Like, can we clean that up a little bit? Maybe it's adieu. I bid you adieu.
We'll just
I
start
don't
saying
know.
a do
Aduo?
a duo.
Maybe I don't know. But yeah, basically it equates to every 2%. So you get a 2 to 4% window, and you get one upgrade and $3 million or something like that. And then every 2% beyond that, in terms of lacking performance, it's an additional like 2 point something $1 million, and then you get two upgrades per year. So we don't have the full results yet. We don't know who's where. There's a lot of speculation that I'm seeing that Ferrari's in that -4 category, and so that would mean two upgrades. And again, massive grain of salt here because we don't know anything until it's official from FIA. But there's a lot of Ferrari fans out there that are saying, hey, this is our opportunity to close the gap, get some horsepower, and bring the fight. So
It's rarely good news to have the inferior motor.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not what they wanted, but at least I guess that's the point of this system is it's going to give those teams a chance and it's going to make it more competitive. Ferrari fans are always going to be optimistic though, so
Yeah.
I'm taking this one with a massive grain of salt.
It poses the question if maybe Mercedes has like tweaked their performance a little bit. I don't know how much you could do during race. Obviously, they have all these settings, but when Kimmy's been so far in it, out front, I could see there being a setting that maybe they can like tone it down a bit. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, you can play all kinds of tricks like that, but I mean, the FIA gets all of the data from the whole race. So what they're doing with that and what factors into how they're creating this index of performance is an unknown. What's interesting to me is Mercedes' advantage is in the race. It's not in qualifying. We've seen other teams be able to compete with them on their one lap pace. But during the race, even when Kimi has a bad start and he drops 5 or 6 positions, he's back by P2 by his pit stop, right? So, yeah, I don't know that we're ever going to get the answer to that one. It's going to be interesting when the official results come out and we see what teams are where, and then it'll just be a development race. So,
I think if anything, Red Bull's in trouble here. I think that hurts.
probably. I mean, Laurent Mekies was basically saying, "I don't know how we could do this. Shouldn't it be Mercedes?" Like,
Yeah.
he's saying, "Don't look at me."
Oh man. And I'd say bigger news, which is a little more into the fan base. Alonso gone maybe soon.
Yeah,
Next couple years.
I mean, I did not do my fact checking here, but I've seen quite a bit of social media posts that Alonso was speaking in the pre-weekend interviews at Barcelona that this might be his last race at Circuit de Catalunya. That track is now on rotation with Spa. This is the 1 year that they're going to happen the same year, and then they're going to alternate. So the next time this race happens will be in 2028. Alonso is on contract with Aston at least through this year. So yeah, obviously the rumors mill is spinning. Is this Alonso saying he's only got 1 or 2 more years left in him? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, based on how things are going, he's been around for a long time. I could see him just being like, I'm done. I don't want to do this grind.
In that car. Yeah, in that car, who can blame him?
It's hard to even see them being that good next year. So I don't know. I kind of makes you feel like we might be seeing a completely new Aston team in the next 2 years. I don't think Stroll's sticking around. I think he's done.
I'm still rooting for him to move on to WEC.
I think that's the right play. This very bad sample size of his first race, but
no, and I mean we talked about it on the last episode, but the crash at Monaco was not his fault. Even Checo was pointing it out. Laps, tens of laps earlier, maybe 30 laps earlier. He was like, hey, the track's breaking up.
It was like the first 10 laps of the race.
Yeah, well, he even said it when Stroll was in the wall. Checo drove past him, and he went on the radio and said, "That's not his fault."
Yeah, I mean, he called it. That was a big fail on the FIA, but
yeah,
we went over it. It's all good. We both enjoy this, but you definitely love this. VCarb is bringing a special livery to Spain. Thoughts? Pull it back up again.
Yeah. I have mixed opinions about it. On one hand, I think it's pretty cool and timely. It's centered around the World Cup, and so it's got kind of a VCarb FC logo on the wing and the same colors as the World Cup ball, and the wheel covers look like the World Cup ball. So I think that's pretty cool that they leaned into it and owned it. If any of you guys have watched our livery ranking podcast, you probably have a sense of my particular design tastes. We prefer things to be clean, but we also, when we get these special liveries, we want them to actually look different on track. And so when you get things like the wolf on a Mercedes in Japan or the Godzilla in Japan, where it looks cool in a photo, but then you have almost no difference during the race. This one's for sure going to look different. V-Carb always kills it with these special liveries. Yeah, I think it is. It wouldn't be my personal favorite. I think their Lime from Miami is the best one they've done this year.
Yes.
But it's not bad.
No, I don't hate it. I don't have a lot more input on it. It reminds me of Lindblad's helmet, which is kind of funny.
The Capri Sun.
So he's kind of matchy with it. I like the taste of the soccer ball and the wheels, but yeah, it's not bad.
What do soccer balls taste like?
Okay. I've taken a couple soccer balls.
Kind of like crayons.
But yeah, my crayons are sharp today. Haven't eaten them yet. All right, we're gonna get off of that. The big thing coming into Spain is we're gonna have hot weather. So obviously, anytime you have track specific things going on, all the teams bring those small like tweaks and upgrades to their car. And with this new reg set, I think with heavy heat we're gonna see some DNFs. I mean, we had Russell overheat fighting Kimi. It was
in a cold race.
It'll be interesting to see how the tires perform. And it's hard to imagine we don't have a few more DNFs.
Yeah. I mean, these teams have been to this track before. It was one of the preseason testing tracks. So they already have a decent sense of how these cars are going to perform around the track, which is probably why a lot of teams are bringing upgrades. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a management thing. Usually you see that when teams are fighting, they're pushing really hard or they're in the dirty air and they're not getting the cooling. So, I mean, we've already seen all the side pods and engine covers as teams are getting set up in their garages, and a lot of them have quite a bit of open grills for cooling. So they're going to do what they can, and we're going to have to wait and see how the race shakes out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I always like seeing the different like side pod vents and all the little things that teams introduce. Speaking of upgrades, we got them jotted down. You want to run through them really quick? Trade-off teams or something.
Well, Inspector Lewis was caught taking a peek at the back of the Mercedes after Monaco, and it turns out that Ferrari went to the FIA and made an appeal, basically said, hey, they're using the diffuser that you said we couldn't use, and so they've come down and Mercedes is going to have to tweak their rear diffuser, so that's going to be a change for them going into this season. Not a whole lot of news or speculation about what that means performance-wise, but it is going to be a change to aero, and this track can be aero-dependent, so maybe it moves the needle. Don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, time will tell on that one. It's cheeky of Lewis to be doing his old team dirty.
He's always doing it. He's always checking them out.
He is. He seems to have new life, so I could... imagine he's trying to get any advantage possible. So,
oh yeah,
and he might have the reverse Kardashian curse. So, we hated on that a couple episodes ago, but it seems to be working for him. Ferrari, new front wing end plates. They're bringing a different floor, and we talked about it after the podcast and the whole Brembo thing. And I didn't know at the time, so sorry for the misinformation. But Lewis had taken a brake upgrade from Ferrari and Charles had turned it down, so part of his crash is probably his fault, so he's taking the new brake upgrade and just going to try to get used to them before the race.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as saying this brake thing even factored into it. I mean, we saw Stroll do the exact same thing, but this was not a one-off issue for Charles. This is something that sounds like he's been fighting for a while, and he made the call not to make the change, but sounds like he's going for it now. And I think on the last episode you had brought up that Brembo was like, hey, don't point the finger at me. Yeah, like it was a big enough deal that Brembo felt the need to make a statement. Well, they're no longer using their brake discs. They're moving to another company. Brembo's still supplying the caliper and the pads and all that, but new brake discs for Ferrari seem to work for Lewis.
Yeah, shoot.
What about your boys over at Red Bull?
Let me glance because I forgot. Rear wing, I'm still retaining that mini wing from Monaco, so that'll be interesting how it plays out in Spain. Um, and obviously their wings are open now, so I'm sure there'll be little revisions to that.
Yeah,
But they're not
yeah. I
bringing
mean
anything
that
else.
no that little rear wing thing is kind of funny to me because basically what they did was they took the operable part of the wing for straight mode that was rotating their wing, and rather than removing it, they basically turned it into an opportunity to have more downforce, which makes sense at a track like Monaco where downforce is really important. But these things have to be like, what, an inch and a half, 2 inches wide? And so this little wing like this big, and people are making a lot of fuss about it. And I'm like, there's no way that little itty bitty thing makes a
I mean,
difference.
maybe you get like a thousandth in quality or something. I don't know, something so minuscule,
You
but
know,
I mean,
user error is 10 times the impact that wing's gonna
yeah,
have.
you
But I
I
don't
mean,
know. This is
data,
F1. You
I
push
mean,
things to the brink.
data-wise, maybe it is that 1,000th that could count. I mean, you saw Kimi and Max were 1,000th away in the second to last lap in quali. So I mean, maybe in a scenario like that, obviously, like I said,
Ah,
user error, you know, track
to,
temp, tire temp, you know, humidity. I mean, you could we could dive into the data, but yeah, this
yeah, it
seems
seems kind
very
of silly. Maybe it's a thing where they just left it on there because they're like, hey, FP1, we're gonna leave it on there and just see what it does, and maybe it stays, maybe it doesn't. Um, I don't know. It was pretty funny to me when I was doing my research, and I was like, really, that's their upgrade?
yeah, it's not an upgrade. Speaking of not really an upgrade, what do you think about your boys?
Uh, they tried to bring a new front wing to Monaco. Not fantastic results. Um, they'll probably run it again in practice, but we're gonna have to wait to see what setup they go with when they pull up for quali. So, I don't have high expectations for McLaren in this race. Spoiler alert for my podium predictions: they are not on the podium for me in this race. Yeah, I don't know. I'm down. We're trending down on McLaren.
Not good.
No.
Super exciting upgrade. We'll do one more. Williams is bringing a further weight reduction package, and via James Vowles, they're supposed to be at the or not really the requirement, but the
Weight
standard
limit. Yeah.
weight limit by Baku. So we'll see if they hit that. Obviously, I mean, weight reduction is great for performance, but you could just tell they're so far behind. Um,
Yeah, I mean they've
it's
made
bad.
great progress. They've been able to chip away at this, and they've saved handfuls of kilograms here and there, and they got some decent results. Sainz had some bad luck in Monaco, getting spun out a few times, but I don't know. I'm optimistic to see Williams. They might be able to get to the point where they're fighting for those last few points on race day. So. Um, Shaving weight out of a car design where these things are integral to the chassis and the parts that make up the car, like that's got to be a difficult thing because it's easy to remove weight, but how do you remove weight without removing other performance, right?
Yeah,
Part of it
without
was
affecting
safety. They
performance,
didn't,
safety.
yeah. So, I don't know. They seem to be doing well. Maybe in-season car development is their thing, and they're just not so good at working on the car over summer and winter breaks.
Yeah, who knows? I know Albon last season, this season does not seem happy, which is crazy because he's a very like mild-tempered driver compared to most. But they were fighting for the points in Monaco, doing the little cheeky hold everyone back strategy. Sainz got kind of screwed, but we already went over that. Aggressive turn, not really, definitely his fault, but not really. Was it Hulkenberg or Bortoletto?
It's Hulkenberg. Yeah.
Hulkenberg's fault. But upgrades wise and like random news, we don't really have much more. So let's dive into Spain. I have random fact of the day: 71% of pole sitters win. So it's very important. One of Obviously it's not Monaco pole, but it is a very important pole throughout the season. So it'll be interesting who qualies up top in this race. And last year McLaren won too, Oscar and then Lando.
That will not be happening
I
this
don't
year.
think it will either. But Lando has came. He's come in second the last two seasons here, so he's
Yeah, I
definitely
think.
strong.
Yeah, I think Lando will be in the top six, but I struggle to say with confidence that he's going to be much higher than that. Just knowing where the other teams are and where the performance is trending. That said, it is a totally different setup. It's a lot of medium speed and high speed sweepers. There are some good braking zones, so for your harvesting, battery deployment shouldn't be too big of an issue. But these guys just have too many gremlins. I've had a lot of reliability issues in that garage, so yeah, I'm not putting my money on McLaren this week.
Especially in a hot weekend.
Mm-mm.
Let's just cook everything. You want to get to your or your podium prediction then?
Yeah, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I am tired of being proven wrong, so Kimmy gets pole. And then I'm going to go with Mr. Hot Streak himself, Lewis. And let's not forget that this is a track that Max loves. We've seen one of my all-time favorite races to watch was Max in his attempted three-stop, which he
Yes.
almost pulled off. And he was
Well, they
just
screwed
balls
up.
to the wall.
They screwed up the
they screwed
strategy.
him.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've got Kimmy, Lewis, Max as my podium.
Well, that ruins mine.
We could be the same. We could be
It's
twinsies.
the same. I fought with Max and George. It is Kimmy, Lewis, Max, and mine was strictly off data this time, which I don't usually do. I'm more of like a vibes person, but with how dominant Kimmy is, it's hard to knock him down from that with the car they have. I don't really see that changing. I mean, you could say George is up there, but George just doesn't seem, ever since the overheating, he still doesn't seem like he's been on his A game. That's the one race that felt like he was in Canada, but before that and in Monaco, he's off. Lewis is 100% on pole to win ratio here. He has 12 plus podiums. He's strong. He has the record for most wins here. Max has 4 wins on one pole, so he's fast around the circuit. And I agree, that race has been one of my favorites all time. I was like a little child giggling on my couch for that race, and then when they put him on the wrong tires, I almost cried. It was awful. Um, I definitely think qualifying is going to be big on this one. So I think either if Lewis or Max get pole on this one, I think Kimmy might actually struggle a little bit getting it back, but especially from Lewis because of the car. But yeah, same prediction.
This is my first prediction that I didn't put George ahead of Kimmy, and so inevitably this is going to be when George makes his comeback
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's my luck.
Great, great, cool.
Yeah. Any other surprise predictions?
I think Charles is going to beat George. I think Ferrari's going to
Okay,
have a good weekend.
I like that. Um, I'm gonna go with, and I think this is true.
Alonso in the points.
No, I don't think so. Um, I think best Red Bull finish of the year thus far. I think Max P3, Hadjar P5.
That would be
Very
great.
specific.
I'd be very happy
But
camper.
I don't know. I think they've got it figured out, and they've got momentum.
I think they definitely are looking good right now. So that would be great.
Yeah.
As long as
I
Hadjar
guess
doesn't
that
beat
means
Max, I'm happy.
I guess that means I've got Charles P4, and I gave you my top five. I don't know.
So where are you putting Lando? Because George isn't up there. So since
Shit.
Lando's top 6,
Shit.
you're in a spot.
Bail. Cut that
George,
part. Cut that part.
George overheats. George overheats. It's fine.
Oh, that would be pure chaos if George DNF'd. No, you're right. George has got to fit in there somewhere. You don't have so many people.
I feel like when you get to P5, you have a toss-up the way we're talking about McLaren and
Yeah.
George and Hadjar. Like that group is very, I don't want to say close, but it could be anyone.
It feels like Lando, George, and Oscar, like those three could be in any order, just given how the race shakes out. They all
Yeah,
kind
100%.
of are on the back foot for different reasons. So
100%. We haven't, before we go, I talk forever, but I feel like we have not had a race this season, and it's probably accurate that we've had those top 4 teams not have an issue. Like we're not getting a full picture of the top performers actually racing the whole time. Obviously, there's been races where Mercedes out in front, but like that, like second to 6th, second to 8th, I feel like you're not getting that true picture of what we're actually dealing with performance-wise.
yeah, I think you're right. There's always been a DNF or a DNS or a
George,
safety car or something.
Lando, max out. Yeah. So I guess I hope we have a low DNF race so we can actually see what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good race. After this one, I think we got a week break and then Red Bull Ring headed to Austria. So that'll be another fun one.
Yeah,
always a lot of good overtakes at the top of the hill there.
Gotta love the hairpin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Max and Lando will make contact.
No, my body
not.
tightened up when you said that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week, and we'll catch you after the race. Bye.